Well, this week has been filled with major headlines across the nation and around the world. One America's Bobby Dupree takes us through the top stories in our Week in Review.
Kicking off the week, President Trump addresses the UN General Assembly in New York, calling on the rest of the world to isolate Iran's regime by cutting all financial trade ties.
We cannot allow the world's leading sponsor of terrorism to possess the planet's most dangerous weapons. We cannot allow a regime that chants death to America and that threatens Israel with annihilation to possess the means to deliver a nuclear warhead to any city on earth. Just can't do it.
Plus, the Dallas Police Department fires the officer accused of fatally shooting a man in what she thought was her own apartment. An internal investigation revealed Officer Amber Geiger engaged in adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter earlier this month.
As a police chief, my job is to ensure the integrity, the highest level of integrity in this criminal investigation. And that is what I did. And I waited until the critical portion of this investigation was complete.
And California gubernatorial candidate John Cox receives another big endorsement, with Southern California News Group throwing its support behind Cox as he looks to flip the state's governor's seat red. Tuesday, disgraced comedian Bill Cosby is sentenced to at least 3 years in prison after he was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman back in 2004. Plus, GOP House members begin the process to subpoena memos from former acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe. This after reports suggested McCabe documented Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein's offer to secretly record the president. And hundreds of events take place across the country to mark National Voter Registration Day.
Early voting and midterm elections are something that seem to never really be on people's radar, and this year it's really not a choice, it's not an option. We have to do it.
Midweek,
we learned that they are trying to meddle in our elections, and we're not going to let that happen.
President Trump ramps up his rhetoric against alleged Chinese meddling with the upcoming midterm elections. He slammed Beijing for reportedly running propaganda ads to target voters in red states and influence their opinions on the trade war.
They're attacking our industrial with ads and with statements that don't look like ads. It looks like they're editorials, and they're not. They're made up by China because they don't want me to get elected because this has never happened to them.
Plus, tech giant Google addresses issues before the Senate Commerce Committee, acknowledging it made privacy mistakes in the past. And actor Will Smith bungee jumps out of a helicopter over the Grand Canyon to celebrate his 50th birthday. Thursday, a highly anticipated hearing on Capitol Hill.
With what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
Dr. Christine Blasey Ford outlines her allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, followed by the judge strongly refuting the accusations against him.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time. But I have never done this to her or to anyone. That's not who I am. It is not who I was. I am innocent of this charge.
Plus, HBO is throwing in the white towel as it relates to its boxing coverage. The sports and entertainment giant announced it no longer plans to carry live pay-per-view boxing events. And barrels of good news for the bourbon industry as Kentucky experiences its highest production in nearly 50 years. And finally, on Friday, Facebook responds to a cyber attack on the social media site discovered earlier in the week, which exposed the information of nearly 50 million users, saying it doesn't know who was behind the attack. Plus, the Senate Judiciary Committee sends a request to the White House for an FBI supplemental investigation into the Kavanaugh allegations. Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn said the confirmation vote would be delayed no more than a week after the committee voted 11-10 to advance Kavanaugh's nomination earlier in the day.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
And Tom Hanks is taking on a big role to play Mr. Rogers in an upcoming film. Sony Pictures released a photo of the actor dressed up as America's favorite neighbor. The movie is set for release in October of 2019. Bobby Dupree, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this?
Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.